Are you finding vectors and 3D geometry tough to master for JEE? Wondering if Cengage book can help you score better and clear concepts deeply? In this video, I'll walk you through everything about the Cengage vectors and 3D geometry book so you can decide if it's right for your preparation. Let's get started. In this basic overview, this book is a part of the well-known Cengage JEE Advanced Mathematics series. Specifically covers vectors and 3D geometry, designed to build strong concepts from scratch to advanced level, suitable for both main and advanced aspirants. Now let's talk about the structure and organization for this book and this DPP. So here you get a book and a DPP. Well, let's first look at the book first. So here you can see the cover, and here in the contents page you can see here the first chapter is introduction to 3D geometry, second chapter is introduction to vectors, third chapter is here different products of vectors, then fourth chapter is line and plane. Then here the solutions of these four chapters, chapter 1, 2, 3 and 4. Appendix 1, chapter wise solved JEE Main 2019 questions 16 sets. Appendix 2, chapter wise solved JEE Main January 2020 questions 6 sets. And Appendix 3, JEE Advanced 2019 solved questions. Well, this is a bit old book, so if you get a new one, latest edition, then you get the latest questions from JEE Main and Advanced. Now here's the preface, and it's the chapter 1, Introduction to 3D Geometry. If I talk about the structure of this book, first you get some theory, and then you get some illustrations like here, and again get some theory and again some illustrations, and this theory and illustration, this cycle continues, and you get some concept application exercise, and again you get some theory, illustration and concept application exercise, and this cycle continues till you get solved examples that is available at the end of the book. Well, in this case, for this chapter, solved examples are not available, but in other chapters you will find out there are. Okay, now here you can see exercises. Here you can see only single correct answer type questions here given here. Now the answers key are given here, and this is the chapter 2, introduction to vectors, and here you also the structure is basically same. First you get some theory and then illustrations and some note maybe, and again some theory in illustrations. This cycle repeats sometimes, and you get some concept application exercise like here, and again some theory and some illustrations, concept application exercise, and then here you get the solved examples at the end of the book. And after the solved examples section, you get the exercises. Here you get different types of questions in this chapter and also other chapters, like single correct answer type questions, then multiple correct answer type questions, also linked comprehension type questions, then matrix match type questions, then numerical value type questions, and in the archive sections you get the JEE Main and Advanced questions, previous year questions. Different types of questions also in the archives, like here you can see here is numerical value type questions, and here is the single correct type questions, and here is the matrix match type questions. There are answer key at the end of each chapter. Just the options and maybe values are given here. Now this is the chapter 3, different products of vectors. Okay, the structure is basically the same, so I am skipping some pages to show you the next chapter. Now this is the chapter 4, line and plane. Also here the structure is basically same. Here you can see there are chapter wise solutions are given here in this solutions section, and after these solutions sections you get appendix 1, chapter wise solved JEE Main 2019 questions 16 sets, and here's the answer key, and this is the appendix 2, chapter wise solved JEE Main January 2020 questions 6 sets, and here you get the answer key, and this is the appendix 3, JEE Advanced 2019 solved questions, and here's the answer key, and the hints and solutions are given here. Okay, that's it. Well, for the appendix thing, I would like to tell you, as I mentioned earlier, this is a bit old book, so if you get a latest book, well, you get the latest previous year questions of JEE Main and Advanced. Now let's look at the DPP. Here's the DPP, you can see here, and here's the contents page. You can see here chapter 1, 2, 3, introduction to vectors, chapter 2, different products of vectors and their geometrical applications, and then chapter 3, three-dimensional geometry and the solutions. And there are different types of questions are given here, like single correct answer type, comprehension type, multiple correct answer type, maybe sometimes subjective questions are also given here, and at the end of each DPP you get the answer key, and at the end of this DPP you get the solutions section. Like here you can see the solutions section, and here you get all of the solutions of each of the DPP and each of the questions. Okay, So that's it for the DPP. Now let's talk about the pros and cons of this book. First, pros. Well, the first pro is concept clarity. Theory is concise but very effective in this book. Now the second pro is targeted for JEE. Now this book covers exactly what's needed, no fluff. I mean, this book is especially designed for JEE Advanced. Also, you can use it for JEE Main. Now the third point is progressive difficulty. Well, there is a gradual increase in problem level. Like in the illustrations level, in the first of the illustrations you may find it very easy, and also in the exercise level you may find the questions in the exercise for the first few questions are very easy, but when you are getting at the end of the exercise you get difficult types of questions. Now the fourth point is well illustrated examples, especially helpful in vector interaction and 3D visualization. Well, for vector and 3D you need to visualize these things, and also you need to have some knowledge about vectors. In this book that's very beautifully covered, you can see in some of the diagrams also. Now the fifth point is sufficient revision. Well, in the miscellaneous questions and PYQs for final preparation, and also the illustrations and theory, these are very good for sufficient revision. Now let's talk about the cons. Now the first con is time consuming. The exercise sets are quite lengthy, and also the theory and illustrations and solved examples and concept application exercise and PYQs, these are very bulky book. Okay, so you need some time, a good amount of time to solve all these questions and to study all these theory and all these things. Now the second point is not ideal for beginners. Well, why I'm saying this thing is because when you're getting in class 11th from class 10th, well, there is a huge gap between the stress and the study level kind of thing. Okay, so it's not really ideal for beginners because some JEE main level students may find it overwhelming initially. Now the third point is difficult to manage with school or coaching. Well, solving this, especially with coaching, well, solving this book fully requires a lot of time, as I mentioned earlier, which can be hard to balance alongside school and coaching schedules, especially with coaching schedules, because they have their own modules and own coaching materials, so you may not get sufficient time to do all these things. Okay, now the question is, should you buy this book? Well, there are two answers. Yes, if first you are aiming for JEE Advanced, second you have already done basic NCERT or coaching notes and now want rigorous practice, third is you prefer a self-study friendly book and plenty of examples and exercises. Now the second answer is no. If you are a beginner and haven't covered the basics yet, well, you can do the basics from this book also, but you may feel a bit too much stressed to see these volumes of these books. Okay, if you have not familiar with these kind of books earlier. Well, the second point is you are only focused on JEE main and want faster coverage with shortcuts. Well, in that case this is not really for you because this takes time. Cengage Vectors and 3D Geometry is an excellent choice for serious JEE aspirants, especially those targeting top ranks in JEE Advanced. It helps build strong problem-solving skills and deep understanding. Now don't forget to like and subscribe and drop your doubts in the comments. If you need help, please email me at gikstudy@gmail.com. Well, thanks for watching this video. Bye-bye.